What's up, guys? Josh Sampson with Unprofessional MMA, and you know what? It's December 28th, 2017, 2 days before UFC 219. I thought, why not just give my thoughts on the main card? Why the main card? Because I looked at the prelims, and I don't really know all the fighters well enough to give a real good, honest opinion. Besides, I'm gonna say Tim Elliott's fighting a undefeated Mark De La Rosa. I don't know De La Rosa, but I love Tim Elliott. I think he's a great guy, and shout out to him. Hope he wins. But let's get into it. I'm gonna be looking this way a lot because I have my computer with the UFC's website and all the fights on there. But so starting out, the main card is Conduit versus Magny. Interesting fight. Carlos Conduit hasn't fought in 2 years, but he's called the natural born killer for a reason. He's a bad motherfucker. He ain't no joke. Ridiculous striking, ridiculous ground game, just a threat pretty much anywhere and everywhere. He hasn't fought in around 2 years, I believe. His last fight was Damian Maia, where he got rear naked choked. And I think I heard in an interview, which this is my memory maybe playing tricks on me, but he said he got punched in the head while he was on the ground there, and that kind of rocked him, and he realized he couldn't take punches as well or strikes to the head as well, so he was going to take some time off. So we'll see if that plays a factor in it. But and then also his opponent, Neil Magny. Neil Magny's no joke, though. Neil Magny is coming off a loss against Rafael Dos Anjos by arm triangle, which kind of showed or further showed Neil Magny's weakness is against high-level grapplers. That's really where he seems to falter. But he's a great striker. He's a great grappler, just not to the highest degree. But he's a great striker. He shows that in a lot of his fights. He's very tall, lanky, and long. I think he's an 80-inch reach, something ridiculous. But yeah, interesting fight. Who I'm gonna have to give it to? So this is a real tough one. This is a toss-up for me personally. I'm gonna have to give it to Magny though. I think Conduit, no offense to Magny, is the more skilled fighter overall. But with the 2 year layoff and then coming back, I think the ring rust is really gonna affect him. And also, they both are known for they both are not known. I shouldn't say known for this, but they both have great cardio. And we'll see if Conduit still has the same conditioning as he did prior to this 2 year layoff. Where Magny, we know, is a workhorse, can keep on going for 3 or 5 rounds. Doesn't really get tired that much, but I mean sometimes he does. But he can really fight through it. So I'm gonna have to go with Magny on this one. I don't have any of the betting odds up though, but that'd be interesting to see. Next is Cynthia Calvillo. I don't really know if I'm saying that right. And Carla Esparza. Another interesting fight. Cynthia Calvillo has been taking the fight game by storm. She's 6-0 with I think 2 wins and by decision, submission, and KO. She seems to be predominantly a striker from what I've seen of her fights, and very, very good striker, dynamic, knows when to move in and out, defends herself effectively, has a good clinch game for her knee strikes, and Muay Thai clinch game, I should say. But Carla Esparza is no joke either. I mean, she was the first strawweight champion. She's a great wrestler. She beat Rose Namajuanis, or whatever her name is, the current strawweight champion. But yeah, so I think this fight's gonna go with Cynthia Calvillo. Is probably gonna be striking. Carla Esparza is probably gonna be trying to take her down, and if Carla Esparza can take her down and ride her out, she can probably win. But I'm gonna have to give it to Cynthia Calvillo. I think she'll play this smart. I think she's the better striker. She'll be able to move in and out. Tag her, get away, stay away from those takedowns. Maybe if she goes for one in the clinch, maybe throw a knee, make sure you don't get taken down. Why that happens, but I'm gonna have to give it to Cynthia Calvillo. Oh, I should also say, with Conor and Magny, how I think it's gonna go. Conduit's always game, they go striking, so I think it will be a stand-up fight. But if Conduit wants to win, I think he should take this to the ground and show his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expertise. Or I don't even know if he has a belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I probably should check that. He might just have Gaido Jitsu, which is Greg Jackson's form of grappling, which is honestly great and effective. Look at it, he has a lot of great. There's a lot of great grapplers at Greg Jackson Link's gym, and Greg Jackson taught himself pretty much how to do grappling through wrestling and reading books on jiu-jitsu. So yeah, but then moving on to the third fight, Daniel Hooker versus Mark Diakasi. I don't really know how to say this. Interesting fight. Daniel Hooker is coming off that crazy KO of Ross Pearson. Ross Pearson, boxer, was bobbing and weaving. Daniel Hooker's like, oh, you're going to put your head that low? Knee to the face. How does that taste? And just flatlined him. So that was a great, I don't know if I got performance tonight. Probably should have got KO tonight. That was a pretty sweet KO. But then, and then Mark Diakasi is coming off a decision loss, his first loss in his MMA career against, I can't remember the dude's name. I'm sorry for that. But, dude just pretty much showed he out-wrestled him. And that kind of showed, that's kind of Mark Diakasi's weakness. Mark Diakasi, if you remember, he's very explosive, great striker. He reminds me a lot of Uriah Hall. Not because they're both black, hashtag no racist, but because they're both crazy strikers, a lot of spinning moves, a lot of crazy kicks, jumping moves, things like that. But who do I think is going to win? I think it's going to be Mark Diakasi. I think Daniel Hooker should try to take him down, which Daniel Hooker, I believe, is more of a striker, but he has most of his wins by submission. That might be kind of the Cowboy effect, where Cowboy, I think, has most of his wins still by submission, but he's a great striker and kickboxer. But yeah, I think if Daniel Hooker wants to win, he should take this fight to the ground and just keep him there, keep doing that over and over, tire him out. But I think Mark Diakasi will come away with the win, maybe a unanimous decision. Hooker is pretty good at keeping himself, like defending and stay. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm babbling now, which is wasting video time. But no, I think he keeps himself safe a lot of the time. He knows how to defend himself, so I don't think he'll get KO'd, but I think it'll be a decision for Mark Diakasi. Maybe 29-28, not, 30-27, but we'll see. Ooh, the co-main event of this card, which is the fight that's got everyone frothing at the mouth right now. Personally, same as me, I love this fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza, which, for those who don't know, it's pretty much grappler versus striker. It's the ultimate grappler versus striker. Khabib got decent striking, high-level striking, but not the highest level striking, decent striking, and a ridiculous wrestling game. Like, everyone talks about that video of him wrestling bears in Russia. Well, he probably was raised by bears, honestly. He just mauls people. If you go back to his Dos Anjos fight, right before Dos Anjos went on to a stint to become the lightweight champion, you could see in that fight, Dos Anjos has some great takedown defense. Like, he shows incredible balance and things like that, and Khabib's like, oh, you got takedown, great takedown defense, fly, slam, maul. Like, that's just what he does. I mean, he hasn't fought since the Michael Johnson fight in UFC, was it 202 or 205? I believe it was the night that Conor McGregor won the belt, but Khabib's literally on top of Johnson during that fight going, you have to give up. I need this title shot, I deserve it, just beating the shit out of him. He just mauls people. But, yeah, which the whole controversy where he missed weight at Tony Ferguson, which, made the MMA community just cry, because that was, I wanted to see that fight. I still want to see that fight. That's a great fight. But, he missed weight. His liver shut down. Crazy things were happening. But, apparently this time around, he's got a new nutritionist. He's looking good a few days before the fight. I think he'll make weight. He said even once, maybe he'll drop down to 145 and fight Max Holloway. Which, don't do that, Khabib. No. You almost die making 155. I don't care if you got a new nutritionist. No. But then moving on, let's talk about Barboza a little. Edson Barboza, probably the fastest striker in the lightweight division right now. Ridiculous taekwondo, or I don't even know if I assume he's taekwondo with the crazy kicks he has, but ridiculous kicks, speed, and power. Yeah, he's just really, Edson Barboza, the only person. He's got leg kick TKOs, he's got body kick TKOs, he's got head kick TKOs. I mean, everyone knows the Terry Edmond highlight reel knockout was great. Things like that. So, this is really interesting. It's really, the other person's strength is the other person's weakness, and vice versa. It's really, 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 really interesting. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's going to be Khabib, though. I think I love Barboza, and I think he has great striking. I think Khabib will be able to maybe catch a leg kick, or maybe catch a kick, I should say, and take him down and maybe tire him out, which I feel Khabib has better cardio, but who knows? We really don't know. I don't know if we've ever really seen Khabib get really tired, but that's because he's normally the one dominating, so we'll see. Maybe if he faces some form of opposition, someone who could really test him, put him to the test and challenge him, maybe he'll get tired, and we'll see. But I'm going to have to give it to Khabib for this one. Finally, Cyborg versus Holm, the main event of the card. So, obviously, I don't know how to say her real name. I'm going to say Chris Cyborg instead of, is it Cristano? I don't know. But Chris Cyborg is the She-Hulk of MMA, like besides Gabby Garcia, but that's, steroids. Which a lot of people accuse Chris Cyborg of steroids, which I think she got caught once, but really hasn't failed the test since. You can't really pull that shit, like you're just like pointing. Like a lot of people said that about Dos Anjos, but now he's at 170, still looks ripped, still murking people. So, like, you never know. But, yeah, Cyborg, She-Hulk, she just runs through people. That last fight with Tanya Evinger, which made me a huge Tanya Evinger fan. I don't watch Invicta. I didn't know who she was before that. But just the fact that she was willing to fight and lasted that long against Chris Cyborg and she was bumping up a weight class was ridiculous. I really enjoyed it. No, I shouldn't say I really enjoyed that fight because it was sad for Tanya Evinger, but I enjoyed her guts and made me a Tanya Evinger fan. But Chris Cyborg, just monster, hulks people, black belt on the ground. You know, real deal. You know, I think she's won brown belt jiu-jitsu competitions. You don't want to mess with her. Probably the greatest woman fighter in the world, and probably the greatest woman fighter of all time, but, you know, who knows. Which I should also say, during that Tanya Evander fight, though, she normally hulks people. That Tanya Evander fight, she showed very skilled, I don't want to say played it safe, but played it safer than usual, and showed that, hey, I'm not just a Hulk. I'm a Hulk with Batman striking, and that shit's scary. But yeah, continuing on, you know, showed a little of my comic book knowledge. Yeah, I like comic books, but that doesn't really show comic book knowledge. I just said two popular names. I bet real comic book fans will, you know, type in the comments, "Oh, you fucking idiot! You don't know what you're talking about." Whatever. But yeah, Holly Holm. Holly Holm, now, like her, think she's great. Definitely the more decorated striker and one of the greatest women strikers to ever walk into the octagon. Can she win this? Yes. Especially if Cyborg goes, you know, just normal She-Hulk style and rushes in her face. That's Holly Holm's bread and butter. She's just gonna bob, weave, dodge, get out of the way, and just counter striking. If Cyborg takes it slow and goes, you know, tries to like do technical striking against Holly Holmes, I think Holly Holmes will have the advantage. But Holly Holmes does not have the power that Cyborg has, so it may throw off her game plan and things like that, and cause some mistakes. Plus, Holly Holmes, white, an amazing striker. Meh on the ground. Like, not bad because she's made it this far, but not great. She has great takedown defense, but not on the once she gets on the ground, it won't look good. So sorry for that. But yeah. So who do I think's gonna win this one? Gotta give it to Cyborg. Gotta give it to She-Hulk. Can Holly Holm win? Yes. Is it likely? No. Well, I shouldn't say it isn't likely, but if I was a betting man, yeah, I'm not betting on Holly Holm. Love her, but I mean, I would think out of the two, it's an uphill battle for her. Not saying it's not a bad Cyborg. It's probably gonna be Cyborg's toughest fight of her career, I would guess. But still, like, gotta give it to Holly Holm on this one. But yeah, I've babbled for 12 minutes now, and I don't think I've given a lot of actual information. So, you know, I should probably just shut the fuck up and end the video. So this is Josh Sampson, Unprofessional MMA. Thank you for making it this far. Hey, like the video, maybe dislike the video, maybe subscribe, maybe unsubscribe. You do you, and just leave a comment so I can finally have a discussion. Maybe just be like, oh, you know, you're wrong. You're stupid. You shouldn't have opinions. They should be taken away from you. Be like, oh, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So yeah, once again, Josh Sampson, Unprofessional MMA. I'm out.